What's up everybody, Tim Cast here, and as many of you know, over the past couple weeks, we were in California covering the drought. So we got to see a lot of this devastation firsthand, from dry riverbeds to families that had run out of water. We even saw farmers who were drilling new wells that were going down, 1,000 or so feet. So a lot of work being put into people trying to survive this drought. But one of the interesting things we saw was, in some instances, there was this inequity between the rich and the poor. And obviously, inequities exist everywhere in different ways. But this is interesting to me right now because there are a few stories that have come out and some social media posts from rich people who live in this place called Rancho Santa Fe, who are angry that they feel they're being forced to live on houses with brown lawns. But let me pull up this quote right here. I want to read this quote. Someone said, "People should not be forced to live on property with brown lawns, golf on brown courses, or apologize for wanting their gardens to be beautiful." Well, here's what I'm going to say. No one's forcing you to live in a house with a brown lawn. It's just not raining. So you can't buy rain, sorry. You live in an area with a drought, and I think everyone needs to realize you've got to sort of chip in to make things better. But the funniest thing about this, the government of California has asked everyone to conserve water, and this particular area has actually managed to increase their water use by 9%. So how does that happen? How does it happen that people in a drought just decide, let's use more water? But what's interesting to me here is who deserves access to water in a drought? The wealthier people are saying they can pay the taxes, they can pay the fines, so they should be allowed to have as much water as they want. But there's not really an option for poor people. Poor people can't just decide to have more money and go buy water. One of the things that's really scary to me is that when we were in Porterville, which it's its own issues. We met a family and we saw many homes that their wells had dried up and they did not have access to water anymore. So nonprofits and the government set up emergency systems. They were getting non-potable water. It means they can't drink it, shipped in. And the nonprofit was supplying them with bottled water. So they're not entirely screwed, but it is pretty dire straits for a lot of these people. But one of the interesting things is that at the emergency water allotment near this firehouse, there was this warning flyer that said, if you want clean drinking water, you can go buy it from your nearest retailer. So I guess to me that's kind of alarming because it's sort of this image of what we can expect for the poorest communities in the future. I guess it's just kind of scary that as the population grows, as more and more people start living in the metropolitan areas, the amount of water there isn't increasing. And that means water is going to be harder and harder to come by in the future. And if we decide that rich people who can pay for water are simply allowed to just take as much as they want and then maybe pay a fine, what happens to the poor people who don't have the ability to just buy water? Are we going to go to them and say, hey, we can go to the store and buy some? But I guess this brings up another interesting point, which I mentioned earlier. Who does have rights to water? I think a lot of people are going to flat out say that water is a human right and we need to figure out how we distribute it equally. But I definitely feel there's a lot of people who are going to go ahead and say that they should have a right to buy as much water as they want. So I want you to tell me what you think. So comment below. Let me know how you feel about this. Should we be able to have as much water as we want if we can pay for it, or should we make sure everyone gets an equal access? That's what's important. If you want to check out more awesome videos, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel because we've got many more stories on the drought that'll be coming out over the next week or 2 weeks. So they're going to be really cool. And you can follow me on social media at TimCast. I'm pretty much everywhere. And also make sure to check out fusion.net for more awesome videos. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I will see you all next time. To our water crisis. Hey everybody, TimCast here. I'm currently in Tulare County, California, ground zero for the California drought.